Hello, one and all, and thank you for checking out my special Hearts and Hooves Day, Valentine's Day video blog thingy where I do question and answers and give shout outs to anybody who left a question. I want to thank you all for checking this out. And I got quite a few more questions than I expected, so let's get started right away. Let me see here. I got them all written down right here. Okay, number one was from Miss Eve DeWalrus. Hello, Eve. Thank you for leaving me a question. And it says, "Why are you such a good friend?" That's pretty awesome. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. But the key to being a good friend is remembering just a few things. Number one, that everybody is imperfect. So your friends are obviously going to make mistakes. They're going to hurt you. It's going to happen. But the key is just to remember that you do the same thing. Always be ready to forgive, and always give your friends the benefit of the doubt. In other words, always assume the best. Never assume the worst of everybody else around you. Because doing that will not only make you a happier, nicer person, but that'll make the people around you want to be your friend even more. So that's what I do, and it tends to work pretty well. So yeah, that's about it. Just remember, and always put everybody else first. That's the best way to be a good friend and be happy. So very much thank you for leaving the question, and I just want to thank you especially because if I remember correctly, you were like one of the first people to actually leave a response on a while back. I think it was in the anti-depression group. So I want to thank you for also being a good friend. That's really awesome. All right, now moving on. The next question is from John Bucker. He's one of my favorite people on the site because of the way he types. He left a few questions. He says, number one, how have you been? Pretty good, pretty good. How about you? Doing good? Awesome. All right. Number two, how'd you come into this fandom? Okay, this is kind of a fun story because it's kind of like part the generic, somebody showed me a video about it and I was like, okay, that's cool. But it's also because a long time ago when I was a kid, me and my sister used to play with the My Little Pony toys when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old, probably in the late 90s. So I already knew about the show and I didn't have any like, stigma against it. So when my sister told me it was coming back on in 2010, I was like, okay, that's cool. I didn't really think anything of it though. And then in 2012, I started seeing a bunch of like stuff at Hot Topic and Spencer's and all the places I usually shop. And my sister's like, hey, you should really watch this show. It's really good. I said, okay, I'll watch it. Of course, I forgot about it because I was watching an anime called Run High School Host Club at the time. After I was done with the episode, I think it was Read and Weep first, and I thought it was pretty awesome. So then I just started watching all the episodes in order, and here I am today. A big fan of the show and a fan fiction writer. So that was kind of the gist of it. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Number three, what do you think of me and everyone else here? Okay, you're particularly awesome because you're so like chill and honest about everything. And the way you type like Applejack. So when I'm reading anything you put down, I think I'm like talking to Applejack or something like that. It's pretty awesome. And everyone else on the channel, for the most part, I really like everybody, especially on the site. Everybody seems to be pretty nice and pretty generous and pretty thoughtful of people. Of course, there are like a few users that just really like tick me off and are like really annoying because they're always either talking about themselves or only care about how awesome they are and are always like looking for attention in this way. That gets kind of annoying at times, but for the most part, I really like everybody on here. So pretty much if I follow you, you're guaranteed that like I really like you, and if I talk to you, it's also a good sign that I think you're pretty awesome. And that's a lot of people. Anyway, okay, moving on. Happy Hearts and Nose Day, John Bucker. Here we go. Finest Fantasy 13 asks, number one, why are you so awesome? Okay, I gotta say, number one here. Thank you so much for asking, for leaving the question. That's actually a really cool self-esteem booster right there. Um, I honestly don't even consider myself that awesome. I mean, I'm kind of like I write like mediocre stories and don't do a whole lot, I guess. But I really appreciate the thought. Um, I guess for the most part, it just comes down to doing what I doing what I like. I don't write to impress other people. I don't write to get popular. I write because I like it. I write about stuff I like. Um, so that's pretty much it. That's the key to being an awesome writer. Write what you like. Don't write what other people like. Just do what you want to do. Number two, are you a Kingdom Hearts fan? Am I a Kingdom Hearts fan? I have played every Kingdom Hearts game since they came out. Well, it took me like a year to get the first one. I didn't get it to like 2004. Um, but then I've also played the second one. I played all the in between games except for Birth by Sleep. I know it's like an important one, but I bought it for my sister and she beat it, and then traded it before I got a chance to play it. But I played all of them. I've been patiently waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 for like 7 years now, since 2006. It's been forever. I'm super excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out. So yes, I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and I think it's pretty awesome that you're writing a Kingdom Hearts crossover. Okay, now for your brief shout out, I didn't actually even know you existed on the site until like a week ago when I was looking through like I think people who had recently joined the shipping group or something like that, and I saw your name. I'm like, ooh, got Final Fantasy fan here. So of course I had to follow you. That was like the coolest thing ever. I love Final Fantasy. All right, so congrats on being cool for running Kingdom Hearts fic. Everybody check this guy out right now. You need to. He's awesome. Okay, moving on. Happy Hearts and Hooves Day. Nightingale 95. What is your idea of a perfect day? My idea of a perfect day is sleeping in till like 10:30, waking up, going to the kitchen, finding there to be a 2 liter of Pepsi and like a Pop Tart waiting for me. I love Pop Tarts, and I like them not toasted. I like them just out of the box. So that with some Pepsi. Then I'll go and I'll sit down and I'll watch Family Feud and Wants to Be a Millionaire. Then I'll actually get some writing done because I never do that. Um, I'll go outside and skate, maybe ride my bike or something like that, doing whatever I feel like. The weather has to be like 70 degrees because that's like the perfect temperature for me. And then I will go hang out with my friend George. Um, he's like my best friend from like for like ever. Um, and we will go to like Chuck E. Cheese or something like that. Yes, I still love to go to Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know. I'm just like a ticket whore when I go there. All right, that's about the gist of it. Basically, just Pepsi and friends. There you go. Simple, right? Um, all right. So happy Hearts and Hooves Day, Nightingale 95. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, okay. Next, DJ Pony fan. DJ Pony, Pone 3, Pony fan. Okay, number one. How long will the Sweetie Spike stories continue? Because they're great. Thank you. I actually really appreciate that because I get a lot of like. Seems like when people actually comment on my stories, I always just leave negative feedback. I don't get actually a whole lot of positive feedback these days. Well, actually was going to be stopping the Sweetie Spike stories because I was like, I wrote two. The last one I wrote didn't get all that great reception. I think I'm at like 113 likes and like 12 dislikes. So I mean, it's not bad, but it's not as good as the first one, which is like 207. But then I was like, I actually do really like one more. So I think I might write another, especially because I saw this awesome picture on Google Images the other day. I'm like, okay, I think I got to write something for this. Let me see if I can pop it up real quick here. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I saw that picture and it was really awesome. So I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna write something for this. So yeah, I'll write another one. Probably won't be for a little while yet because I have a couple other stories I have to get off the chopping block. Um, that's about it. Okay, number two. Any plans for a Diamond Bloom story? If you like that shipping. Actually, I've never read a Apple Bloom Diamond Tiara ship, so I don't know if I like it or not. Maybe I'll read a few and see if I like it, and if I do, I'll probably write it. Especially if it's a less common one, because I like to write ships that aren't like crazy big, considering I have like a Sparity ship. I've written a Sparity and a Twixie ship already, and those are both like really popular. But I'm trying to move to like ships that aren't done very much. But yeah, if I like it, I'll definitely write one. If you want to like point out any really good ones to me, you can shoot me a PM and let me know. And number three, where do you get your inspiration from? I get my inspiration mainly from music, and I'll get like random ideas like while I'm like just laying in bed trying to fall asleep at night. Like I can give you a rundown here. My story, Secrets Behind the Letters, the first one came because I was watching the movie Dear John, and then I was listening to the song what was Maybe Next May by Secrets, which is an awesome song. You should go check it out right now. Yeah, I can actually play a clip of it real quick. And that's where the inspiration for that came from. And then my Twilight and Trixie Go to Metal show fic just came because I had an idea. I had like a dream of like Twilight kicking butt in a mosh pit one night at like a metal concert. And I'm like, how can I apply that to like an actual story? That's where that came from. Bell fics came because I remember I was trying to enter a contest where the theme was always room for one more. I was trying to adapt that, and I came up with this idea of Spike having like a family game night and inviting somebody over. My original idea was going to be Scootaloo, because maybe she would like need someone to hang out with. I'm like, no, that's been done a lot before. So instead, I switched it to Sweetie Belle because I liked that ship at the time. I had just read a really awesome one by Rare Spy, and that's where that gave birth from. And I wrote it at like 2 in the morning. It took like 2 hours, and I submitted it the next day. It started off with like 5 dislikes and like 1 like, literally. Like it was horrible. I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna die. Then I wake up the next morning to find out it was featured and had like 115 favorites and a bunch of likes and crap. And now you see it's like 201 and 7. So it did pretty well. So that's where that came from. Just random ideas, and the song "When Can We Do This? When Can I See You Again" by Owl City, of course, was like a huge inspiration for that. For the sequel, I mainly got inspiration from the song "First Date" by Blink-182 because I love that song. All right, well, have a happy Hearts and Hooves Day, DJ. Here. All right. JK5. That's it, right? Orchestra JK5. All right. He says, number one, how did you get into the franchise? Well, kind of like I mentioned with John Bucker, it came from just, being exposed to it over the years. Like I knew about it when I was younger, and then when I was older, my older sister, I should mention that she's actually like 23, so that was pretty cool. I actually have like a family that's into it. She told me about it, and eventually I got around to watching it, and I really liked it. So it's kind of like the gist of it. Now, what's your favorite non-MLP franchise? Probably Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, or the NFL, because that's I consider the NFL franchise, and probably Star Wars. Those are like my top three. Then My Little Pony is probably like number four, and maybe like Kingdom Hearts would be number five. But yeah, that's about the gist of it right there. And number three, what is the approximate airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? 20 miles per hour. I have spoken. Okay. Happy Hearts and Hooves there, Arcadia Striker, JK5. You're awesome. All right. Cerulean Voice, my man from Australia. Okay. Question one. What are your thoughts on my covering the entire musical works of Make Them Suffer with my story? All right. For those of you who don't know, Cerulean Voice is an awesome author. Based on a musical group called Make Them Suffer. Check them out right now. They are awesome. You will not be disappointed. He used their album Never Bloom for his first story, and he's thinking about writing a sequel to that based off their other album. So I'm definitely going to say go for it. Lord of Woe is like my favorite album by them. Like, I don't know, it just has this kind of more old school feel. Like I'm listening to like some Symphony in Peril or something like that. It makes me feel like I'm listening to like this deep old school kind of music. I really love it. So definitely, yeah, go for it. Those are my thoughts. Do it now. And now, any other bands that the artists you'd like to see story made for? Yes, I want to see the Two-Face Charade album by Famous Last Words made into a book. That was like one of my top albums of 2013, right behind Common Courtesy from A Day to Remember. Yeah, I want to see that one. I would love to see an adaptation of American Idiot by Green Day, and maybe the Somatic Defilement by Whitechapel. That'd be kind of interesting. Anyway, moving on. The Mouth of Mush. Number one, what kind of sorcery do you use for writing stories? Not really sorcery per se, as opposed to just I read a lot. Reading a lot is probably the best thing. The more you read, the more you learn. I also like to read a lot of self-help books about writing. Okay. Number two, what makes the appeal of Spike ships so favorable to you? I don't know. I really like Spike. Spike's the underdog of the series, so and I like to see the underdogs win. So I always like to write Spike ships that have a ending where things go right for him. Because for some reason in the show they never do. Like nobody likes Spike in the show, and even nobody in this freaking fandom likes Spike. Like when I first started writing Spike stories, that's one of the reasons I get a lot of hate. Because like you have like a bunch of people that like Spike and a bunch of people that don't. So I always get like straight dislikes from people who don't even read my stories just because they don't like Spike. So I like him because he's the underdog, and it just makes a lot of sense. And also he has a very adaptable personality. Like I can ship him with almost anybody, and it works. I've read ships with him in Cloud Chaser, him in Derpy, Berry Punch, Lightning Dust, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Applejack, whatever. And it always works because he's such a diverse character. All right, number 3. What's the Spike Dash story going to be about? Yes, I'm asking for spoilers. All right, it's going to be called. It's going to be called Rainbow Bouquets and Mayday Parades, which is definitely a play off the band Mayday Parade. But it's basically just about Spike kind of deciding he wants to ask Rainbow Dash out on a date. It's not one of those like, oh my god, I'm afraid she's not going to like me kind of things. It's more or less like he really likes me. He's like, okay, I want to do this, but I have no freaking idea how because I suck with romance. Like. So he basically just gets some help from Twilight and decides on an idea to ask her out, and then he sees if it works or not, like how she responds. It's pretty awesome. I had a lot of fun writing it. My problem is, I guess I like the ship so much. I was so afraid of like writing a bad story for it that I think I kind of maybe took it too seriously. So it might not be as good as my other ones. Like I can just throw out a prediction here. I can almost guarantee it's probably going to get like 5 dislikes right off the bat, maybe even like 6. Like all my stories they get a bunch of dislikes in the first few minutes. And it's probably going to get to like maybe like 35 likes and 5 dislikes. Maybe 50. I don't know. That's my prediction. It's going to be like 50 and like 7 by the end of the day. It's not going to be that popular, but maybe it will be. I don't know. But it was fun. Now, number 4. Why do you like the name Bloody Last Words? I actually don't like that name. I really despise it. I'm just stuck with it now. Because whenever I made of last year, I think it was, I just needed a username, and that was the only one that came to mind because I was listening to a band called Famous Last Words at the time, and they were like my favorite band, and they still are one of my favorites. That was the only thing that came to mind, and then I didn't actually think I'd ever actually be writing anything, and then when I became like somewhat popular, like at least within the Spike community, I'm like, oh great, I can't change my name now because that's what people know me by, and all my followers and stuff know me by Bloody Last Words. And I'm not popular enough to where I can change my name and people will still know me. I don't have that many followers or anything. So I'm kind of stuck with it. I'll probably change it eventually if I get more popular, but for now, that's it. I don't really like it. Number 20. Yeah, he just skipped right ahead to number 20. What's Pinky's favorite juicy fruit flavor, in your opinion? Sour apple. There you have it, folks. That's the gist of the questions I got. I want to thank everybody for who decided to write a question. And oh yeah, I forgot my happy hearts and thank you so much. All right, now basically everybody who left a question, you're awesome. I love you very much. I wish I had little hearts I could give you through my computer screen or something, but I don't. So I wish you all the best. And look for my story. I'm probably gonna release it about like I don't know what time is it. 11:55. Probably just like 6 hours from now. So like 6 p.m. tonight, Central Time, United States. So yeah, check it out, and I wish you all a happy Hearts and Hooves Day. Later. Peace.